in with what he had earlier, which is totally understandable because he must be knackered.
Yeah, he would be exhausted by now, but here goes Taylor on the outside section. And a nice five to get things started, holding, doing what Kai did, and this wave's going to cooperate.
Here he goes, jamming down, swooping. Those rail turns, they're so authoritative, aren't they? He's just got so much control and drive time on the tip, and it almost looks like he's commanding this wave, bending it to his will, back into the pocket. Super smooth again. He'll drop that knee and just jam it around. Really nice tempo and rhythm to this kind of surfing. Everything's in tune. And now we'll take a little excursion up towards the nose. Doesn't get there, but an extended wraparound from him. He's enjoying himself here. TJ, here he goes, up for a 5 on a steep inside. Some nimble work, deals with a chop, and then a little roller coaster to finish as well. He is absolutely on fire.
Absolutely, you're right.
Well, you mentioned the body shapes of Rogelio and John being quite similar. Well, they are very similar in stature, both being Filipino by ethnicity and using their bodies to their advantage. And someone else who does that is Ben Skinner up in green, one of the largest, heaviest surfers on tour, and doing turns like that, using the advantage of his board and his body, power gouging, and a drop knee carve just to spice things up.
Yeah, Ben Skinner just utilizing every inch of the board so far and every part of this wave. Right here, just taking a little break. There's nothing wrong with that. If the wave isn't giving you, opportunity to dance, just chill. You're not going to get points taken away from you if you have a relaxed approach through the mid portion of the wave. Here, things might get interesting through to the inside. He's coming closer and closer to the rocks. You might want to get out of that wave now. Perfect timing for Ben Skinner. Onto the one patch of sand we have on the point.
7th and 8th position right now. Oh, wow, and a beautiful roundhouse there from John Michael Van Hohenstein as he's trimming this one through. And this wave looking like a first point Malibu wall. Is he warming up for the finals? We'll have to wait and see. This has got to be better than a 5-6-7. Looking for a 7-8-4 against Taylor. Again, into the foam. So looking like this wave's going to have an inside section. Hoping to get to the nose. Another drop knee wrap. And just going to be hunting a variety, a sense of variety here with some nose riding. He's going to look to move his feet, and that he does. Back up onto the nose. Gets a 5 and a 10. Standing tall as this develops into the shore break. And he finishes cleanly with control. So exactly what the doctor ordered. And
seems like Connie having a look here underneath the priority of Kai. Straight to the nose once again. Holds the 10 for a long time. Back to the power source of this wave right here. A lot of speed moving down the line. Beautiful cross-step work. Just being able to navigate this wave with the use of the entirety of the board like he does right there is just so amazing. How's that steez and style coming out of the nose ride too?
Wow, great stuff. You get the feeling he's going to get the score he needs, so it could well now come down to a score that Kai Ellis-Flint will be chasing. He'll be sitting out there with priority as well, Mitch.
Once again to the 5 for Connie Ellis-Stewart. Tight 5 right there for the surfer from Waikiki on Oahu. And goes for the rail turn at the end. Gotta love the feeling of just finishing a wave like that.
Oh, that was some watermanship.
But he did extremely well to start off with a bang. Now Ellis-Flint on the outside. One of the premier stylists on tour. Oh, they are just going to toe for toe right now. Nose right on the outside from Kai. And brings it down with a strong grab. Straight to the nose. Lovely 5 right there from Ellis-Flint. How's that smooth wraps straight towards the pocket again. Drop knee carve for Kai.
Wow.
And he is just combining things well right here, Sam.
And he might get the edge on the paddle bouncer here. Do you think he's kicked out just early enough to get the edge on Connie Ellis-Stewart? It's going to be a battle in 31 degrees Celsius water temperature. This is an absolute fantastic start. Sugar levels is going to be key if he's going to keep this dream alive.
Score comes through for Silvani. Not enough. It's a 6.73. Focusing now on Connie Tsunami Stewart.
Whoa, what a killer 10 again. Once again demonstrating some of the best hang 10s in the business, Mitch.
And once again gets to the nose right there. He's been able to bring in the variation though, and the great use of the rail work as we see demonstrated on this one. Tight 5 right here from Connie. in the pocket the entire time too. How's the smile right there and the nod to somebody paddling back out? I believe it was Cole Robbins. He's just like, what's up, man? You up here perched on the nose. Once again, getting an incredible nose ride and an incredible ride all the way to the shoreline for Condiella Stewart. What a wave, what a performance.
And meanwhile, Alice still riding. So Alice's wave a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit more impactful. Gives her plenty of opportunity to hang out on the nose of that surfboard. Now she carves it back. Great combo right there for Alice Lemoyne. Still going, still performing. Right in front of the judges now. Why not? Do it again. Alice Lemoyne has to be excited with that wave and gets the graceful pull out. So basically her act from beginning to end. We haven't seen the whole wave, but from what we did see, it may have been pretty flawless. That could be a giant number for Alice Lemoyne.
Just under 24 minutes. This is a huge wave here, though, for Condiella Stewart. Needs to at least try to match the 7-point ride that Ellis Flynn has. Strong nose ride right there in the pocket for Connie.
Wow, what a hang 10 that was. Backed up by a drop knee turn, back up for another nose ride, looking extremely strong. You feel like he's going to get his best score of the heat on this one, Mitch.
You can just tell by his body language right here. He is confident in this one. Still moving through to the inside, touches the 5 once again. The cross-stepping here, the footwork is just beautiful. Goes to the rail surfing right there at the end, and he loves it. Stoked with that one. 24 minutes on the clock. We have a heat on our hands right now.
He's out. Now we go back to Maria Fernanda Reyes, who's straight up on the nose, hanging 10. Jumps back to the 5. A nice extended nose ride for Reyes. Carving it back, staying at the top of the wave. Gets back on the nose with the soul arch. This Peruvian showing a lot of poise. And she is flying down the line. Just a little 5 right there. Back at it, waiting to see what happens on this inside section. She's way down the line. This was a long, good ride for Maria Fernanda Reyes. So good. She's got 3 names.
Yeah, that was incredible, and finishes clean as well. A lot of good nose riding there. Commitment. First 3 nose ride sections, she didn't back out. She, rode through sections on the nose. If we're going to criticize some of that nose riding, it was slightly wide of the pocket, but she did have a lot of time on the nose. But she demonstrated in the previous wave.
And didn't waste much time either. Kai Salas, meanwhile, has been dropping hammers. He dropped a 7.57 on his last wave, a 7.33 before that, and he's on his way to another solid score. Through the inside, he's going to get a little racetrack here. Into the foamy section. That tells us this wave is a little bit bigger and a little bit wider out off the point than the previous wave from JR. So now Kai is out.
Meanwhile, Taoka, she's looking to replace a 5.67. Everything at the moment indicating that she might do so. 30 seconds on the clock. A big moment in this heat as we are winding down. She kicks out with a lot of style and poise. She seems confident that she might have improved on the mid-5 that she has.
Unreal. What a finish. 15 seconds left to go. Both surfers with an exchange. That's...
Welcome back to the Surf City El Salvador Longboard Classic. We've gone coast to coast, Bells Beach to El Tunco, and we are live from El Sunzal. You're watching Surfer in White, Rachel Tilley. She's got 20 minutes left here in round of 16, heat 8. Heat 7 has now entered the chat as well as Sofia Colhane and Maria Fernanda Reyes. But Rachel Tilley, she is weaving a path of excellence towards the rocks. This wave has been the gift that kept on giving. Back to the nose. Nicely hanging all 10 toes over.
What we've seen today is this hunger. It's all on the line. The surfers have had to battle, fight. They've had to take huge risks to stay in the mix to win a world title, and that's why we've seen much more excellent range surfing, as we're seeing an incredible long lifting tight radical 10 from our 2018 world longboard champion from Jeffreys Bay.
So there's a need to perform. There's also a need for speed for this guy right here through this midsection. Accelerating, going through the motions, brings it back all the way around. Great style from Stevie Sawyer as always. This wave on the inside seems like it's going to offer up a great double up. Once again, stalling right there. How's that poise and control to maintain the 10 through a steep section? Looking great on this one so far, Sam.
Yeah, steez to the max. This is why this dude is 218 world longboard champion. And the fact that this 9.6 board was something he wasn't going to bring in his quiver, and it was a conversation with his fantastic father, Des Sawyer, the shaper, this morning, that encouraged him to ride it, and it's paying dues. He is looking sizzling hot.
And this was Soleil's replay. Love this hang 10 in the pocket, using the middle of the board, rising high, carving. So a great transition for Soleil, and she goes up again. So phenomenal surfing here, and surfing that mid-sized wave, which I think are the pick today, really well with style, flow and grace, and an 8-point ride in the excellent range today. The best wave we have seen so far of the morning, and 2022 reigning world champion Soleil Errico off to a great start here in this quarterfinal. Naturally under a feet. She looks great on it, but catching a chop, this little wind swell that we've got today. And Rachel Tilley, this was the 773. So
this is actually live action.
That's correct.
So the second ride for Tilley. Wow, holds the 10 right there. That was nasty. In the pocket, then touches the 5. Once again, gets an incredible nose ride, a tight 5 right there from our 2015 world champion from the US of A, Rachel Tilley. We got a heat on our hands right now in quarterfinal number 3. You mentioned the clash of styles. They've met a lot before coming through the amateur rankings, but as of right now, this is anybody's heat, man.
Advantage to Rachel.
Well, so we'll see what happens for Tony Silvani. But right now, all eyes on Caniella Stewart. Got this wave with priority, straight to the nose. Classic soul arch, hang 10. Doesn't get much better than that. Now he has to carve back into the power pocket. Onto the open face, a beautiful hard turn there for Caniella Stewart. It's almost like he's just telegraphing, waiting to see when he can cross step back to the nose. There's that traditional drop knee turn there. Through to the inside section. So the inside has been pretty important throughout finals day so far. You know, I think the meat of the score is going to come from that outside section, of course, but there are points still available as you get down into this inside.
Absolutely. I thought his wave selection right here with priority as he gets
like
another 10 on the inside was superb. His positioning in the lineup, Chris, you mentioned him being from Waikiki and this wave really being similar to Queens. He's such a good shortboarder too. I've had the pleasure of surfing with him over at Pipeline, and he's a great backdoor surfer. So if he's able to surf a wave like this that is inconsequential to power when we relate it to somewhere like Pipeline, this is a walk in the park for him.
And doing good work on the inside, so she's caught a couple of decent waves, a bomb set out the back. And here we go, straight into it and straight up to the nose. Super critical in a really tight pocket, nice and steep on the face and jamming down again. And then being patient here, back up again. Quick 5 for Honolulu. And then carving through this section. The poise, as ever, is just so good. She's always looks like she knows exactly where to be on the wave. Her positioning, just dialing into that energy with no excess movement at all. And then this thing will get steep in here, and some footwork up for a 5, and she'll hang that nice and high and just stay there. Nice and critical, does well to walk out of that, carving back, really nice commitment to the rail, straight back on the inside toe edge and straight up to the tip again. So really nice time on the nose, another carve from her, and this will feel really good. She's already got momentum from her early heat, a little finish roller coaster as well off the whitewater. Fantastic.
Unbelievable. That's going to be, I feel, that's the best wave that we've seen at the event so far.
In that 8 to 10 category, and looking to back things up at a priority, Taylor Jensen, high line, 2 steps straight to a lock of the 5, walks out of that opening 5 with 4 cross steps and widens out his stance into a big figure of 8 roundhouse cutback, now onto the drop knee cutback, and then just quickly whips it round for a readjust, runs back up to the tip, holds that 5, Great clean footwork out of all of these nose rides. One of the hallmarks of Taylor's longboarding is always being critical tight footwork. He's a tall guy, but he has that light-footedness of a basketball player.
Yeah, just because you're tall and you're in a bigger stature doesn't mean you can't be light on your feet. Look at Muhammad Ali, right? Light as a feather. What is it? Sting like a bee. So he definitely has that attack and that approach, but with finesse and grace.
He's feeling that. Taylor Jensen getting hoots from the fans down here at Surf.
That could have been a number there, piling on pressure for Rachel. It wasn't to be, so she'll get back into the lineup. Meanwhile, Rachel ain't hanging around. Straight up to the tip. And she's perched on the nose for a while. Gets back there again. Nice looking section. Nice and steep. She stays pretty close to it through the nose and then out on the shoulder. So she carves back, cuts back. A little bit of footwork to link things together. And then fading back towards the cobblestones here. This one will double up, stand up. She hopes to the inside. Looks like it will. Back up to the nose again. There's a 10 quickly. She'll remain up there. Footwork. She'll walk all the way back. Everything's linked pretty well. And it will get steep and sucky in here. Let's see how she deals with it. She'll use the speed just to go down into a low line and then a kick out. So a nice clean finish. Using priority, using it to great effect. An important wave for Soleil Erico. This one out the back, high line from her, straight up for 5. And deals with the bounce as well. And then just kind of S's that carve in the pocket. Stands on the tail, drops the knee a touch. And then just stands on the tail and just lets that wave get in front. She wants the wall nice and steep. That'll make the nose ride critical. It's exactly what she wants to do. She just kind of nurses and steers that fade around. A little bit of footwork as she joins this up. Crucial moment of the wave here. This can go a couple of waves. She gets a steep section. She'll get on the nose. There we go. Quick 10 from her. And again, just jamming it down. A quick abbreviated down carve and then more time on the tip. And she'll just hang there for a while, looking very composed. There has been a bit of wobble throughout this wave, but she surfed it really well.
Unreal. That was a great exchange from both surfers. The question is, though, will Rachel improve? And this is going to be important. Who can get to the ski